News Talk 640 WFNC. I think I've got Greg FISHEL on the phone right now, but Greg, you're kind of busy wherever you are. Greg, how are you, sir?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm hanging in here. You forgot I was going to call you, didn't you?
I did, but you know what? This happens when you get old.
Tell me about it. I know. Well, look, we were talking last week, and I said,
Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Greg, hello?
Hello?
Hello, Greg. Hello. We're going through it
Yeah.
again. Yeah. I said we were talking last week. The new data is out on the hurricane. You were explaining to me what you saw in that data and what it means. What's your thought?
Oh, you mean the outlook for the season?
Yes. Yes.
By the way, I'm hearing an echo of myself. Is there? I didn't know if there's any way to stop that.
I don't know with this phone system the way that it is. Are you talking to me? Are you talking me through the phone itself, or you got me on like a earpiece or something?
It's on the Bluetooth. Would it be better if I just talked directly on the phone?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to take it off Bluetooth. Yeah.
All right, hold on here.
Okay, I know it's difficult.
All right, I got to go settings, Bluetooth off. All right, how's that?
Well, how is it for you?
Let's see. No, I'm still hearing it.
Well.
Oh well, I'll just put up with it.
Well, I hate that you have to do that, but in any event, you are in your car, and I know that's you're doing your thing. But what can you tell me in Echoland about the upcoming hurricane season?
Well, it's the same thing I've tried to preach for years, is that when there's an El Nino, that tends to suppress Atlantic hurricane activity. So if I was a betting man, I would definitely bet on less than the normal number of storms, which is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 majors. However, all it takes is one major hurricane to hit a populated area, and the impact is huge. And if you go to that area after the fact and tell those people that suffered through that it was a below normal season, they may kill you.
Yeah. Well, and look, we've done that, and I understand it, especially here with Matthew and Florence that came through here. Those were Category 4 storms or so, or whatever they might have been. And the devastation from these storms can last for years. And you've reported on them. When June 1st comes around, and you were at WRAL, did you say, here we go, it's that time?
Right. And the peak of the season, of course, is not until like mid-August to late September. So we can still get storms. We've already had that one potential tropical cyclone down in the Gulf. But, the real core of the season is still a ways off.
Right. And the Atlantic basin hurricane season is different from the Pacific. And how does that work?
Yeah, the Pacific may actually have more activity than normal because of El Nino, because the water temperatures will be warmer than normal, and that is what fuels these storms. But what the El Nino also does is creates a strong low-latitude jet stream, and that basically rips the top off of any tropical cyclone that tries to develop in the Atlantic. It's almost like having your chimney flue open, and, you wonder why it's still cold in your living room, even though you have a fire built. And it just sucks the heat right out.
Right. And of course, that amount of energy, and that's the whole key here. What can we do in terms of building the energy that's needed to sustain these storms for hundreds of miles across the ocean, and in some cases, making landfall at with hurricane force winds and doing like, I think it was Hugo that came in and went all the way through Charlotte. You remember that storm?
Oh, Hugo, you bet.
Yeah, and the fact that it brought hurricane force winds inland, I think, it caught a lot of folks by surprise.
Oh, yeah. In fact, a lot of people headed for Charlotte to avoid that storm, and the storm basically followed them to Charlotte, and that was Charlotte's Fran. Very similar damage to what we had here with Fran.
I was in Cuba, and we had a storm coming, and it was time for us to come back home. But because there was a hurricane out there, instead of them flying us to back to Jacksonville, uh, Florida, they decided to fly us up to Virginia. And I'm not a meteorologist, but I played one on TV. I saw that. I said, "Boy, the track of this storm is going to take it towards Virginia," and that is exactly what happened. And so here we are going into Richmond as opposed to down to Jacksonville, and we had to deal with the brunt of that storm. These things are unpredictable, is the point.
Well, I know you're familiar with the fan, the forecast fan, and the reason I never show the line in the middle of that fan is that if your average error in 3 days is like 100 miles, the line tells you where it won't be.
Right.
And think about it, And so by showing that line, you're implying a level of accuracy that doesn't exist. And I'd much rather tell people that if you're in that fan, anywhere in that fan, you're fair game.
Well, and I think you also have to bring into play the different models here. You have the European model, you have the American model. Why is there
Right.
such a difference sometimes?
Well, a lot of reasons for that. The Europeans have a different technique in terms of what's called data assimilation, where they do a really good job of always taking the most recent observations from anywhere in the world and incorporating it into the model and bringing the model back to reality. Like if it's starting to deviate from what is actually happening in the world, then those observations quickly bring it back. Why we are behind them on that technique, I don't honestly know. But I just know that they've always been known for being the best in that area. But then there are also things that don't have equations associated with them. Like we have to come up with basic numerical approximation techniques, and people use different techniques, and different techniques come up with different solutions. So it's like for instance, with convection, with thunderstorm activity, there's a number of different techniques that are used to approximate the effects of that, and they're all different and come up with different answers.
Well, these it's funny you bring that up, the thunderstorms, because we have these supercells that come through sometimes, and the people don't understand how, for example, how big the hail is going to be, and it has to do with the strength of those storms to not let the water fall all the way to the ground and get sucked back up, and another layer of ice gets on it, or whatever the technical stuff is.
Right.
Have you ever flown on one of the hurricane things? I just for the life of me can't see why somebody would want to fly into the heart of a hurricane. Have you done that?
I had a chance to, and I turned it down because I was deathly afraid of turbulence back then. If I had a chance to do it now, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I doubt I'll ever get that chance.
Yeah, and you see the plane go in, and all of a sudden they start collecting data, and that data is collected. Is it collected in the eye or as they all the way through?
Oh, yeah, they fly all the way through it. In fact, if you go, there are certain websites that actually track the plane in real time, and they do this crisscross pattern where they'll cross it from west to east, and then they'll head north and cross it from north to south, and they have these things called dropsondes that are the opposite of radiosondes. So the weather balloons that carry the weather stations up,
Right.
they drop these and they take measurements as they go down toward the ocean. And so they get readings on temperature and pressure and humidity and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's some spectacular shots from these reconnaissance aircraft when they go through the eye. It's just an amazing sight.
Well, yeah, if you're just joining me, I've got Greg Fisher here, longtime meteorologist in this market, a gazillion years at WREL, and I had the pleasure of working in the Weather Center with Greg when I was a meteorologist student at NC State, and he gave me the curve because I was training with Greg Fisher, and then I'd go to class, and we messed up the curve for everybody. So, Greg, you've moved back from Myrtle Beach, and people have an opportunity now to see you, and I always want to give you an opportunity to talk about what people can do if they want to still have a visual of you talking about the weather.
Well, a couple of things. I've got a podcast on Patreon, which is a subscription-based service. It's $3 a month, and if you go to patreon.com/fishweather, you can sign up for that, and it's just as easy to cancel as it is to sign up. Just this past Monday, I started doing something on YouTube that's totally free, It's called the Official Weather Channel. And every Monday, I'll do an El Nino update, and every Thursday, a drought update. And so if you subscribe to that, that's totally free. And again, updated every Monday and Thursday.
All right. Well, Greg, I appreciate you taking the call as you drive around the world up there. Were you in Fuquay and up near Raleigh, Wake County?
That's where I live, but right now I'm in Chapel Hill.
Oh, just see, look, hey, there you go. Well, look, enjoy yourself again. I appreciate you taking my call as you make your way around. Good to have you back in our area up from Myrtle Beach. So welcome home.
Well, it's great to be back. It really is, Gilbert. And I value our friendship and look forward to talking to you again.
I look forward to playing golf with you because we gotten close, but we
Yes.
haven't pulled it off. But we will make that happen.
Okay.
All right, Greg. Thank you so much. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Showers early this morning will come to an end. Skies will then turn mostly sunny with a high of 92. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 75, and Thursday will be partly cloudy and hot with a stray afternoon storm and a high of 98. Friday will again be warm in the low 90s, but it also comes with a good chance for rain thanks to a cold front. But the good news for the weekend, we will dry out Saturday and Sunday. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Rachel, 73 right now. That's the number for Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and also for Parkton. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
Fayetteville's local news source.